Hi guys, this is your channel Stat and Math Tutorial in a new video. Today we will talk about quadratic functions or the parabola. So we will show you how to find the vertex, find out if the parabola opens up or down, and also finding the vertex using two formulas. And finally we will do some examples to better understand the parabola very well. So let's start. So what's the parabola form? So any function in this form, f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So the shape of this function will be a parabola. So a parabola is the shape of a graph in this form, or the quadratic functions. And the parabola opens up if a is positive. So b is positive, it opens up. And if a is negative, will open down. So let's do a couple examples here. Sorry. F of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 3. So what's your a here in this example? So a is 1, the coefficient of x squared, the leading coefficient of x squared, and 1 it's positive. So the parabola will opens up. And if it opens up like this, it has a minimum. So the graph has a mean. Okay. Another example, g of x equal negative 3x squared minus x. So a in your case here is negative 3, which is negative. So the parabola will opens down. So open down like this. And if it's open down, the graph has max. So this point, which is minimum of the graph or the max of the graph, is called the vertex. And we will talk about how to find the vertex using the standard form and using another formula. So let's move on to the vertex. And as we mentioned, the vertex is just the minimum or the max of the parabola. So vertex is just mean or max of the graph. So again, let's put the standard form for the parabola function, ax squared plus bx plus c. So the first formula to find the vertex is the vertex will be the point with the x coordinate and negative b over 2a, and the y coordinate is f of that one, of negative b over 2a. So let's do examples. Here the example, the first function we had before, x squared plus 2x plus 3. So what's a? Yes, a is 1, b is 2, that's right. So a is 1, the coefficient of x squared, and b is the coefficient of x. So let's apply the formula here. So the x coordinates will be negative b over 2a. So negative b is negative 2 divided by 2 times 1, and that's negative 1. Now to find the y coordinate for the vertex, plug negative 1 for f. So it's going to be f of negative 1, which is going to be negative 1 squared plus 2 times negative 1 plus 3, which is negative 1 squared is 1, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, and plus 3. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1, negative 1 plus 3 is positive 2. So the vertex here for this function is negative 1, 2. Okay, so let's do the other example, which is f of x equals negative 3x squared minus x. So what's your a? A is negative 3, b is negative 1. So the x coordinate for the vertex will be negative b over 2a, which is going to be negative 1 over 2 times negative 3, and that's 1/6. Now you plug 1/6 in your function to find the y coordinate for the vertex. So y equal f of 1/6. So you get negative 3 times 1 over 6 squared minus 1 over 6. So this is negative 3 times 1 over 36 minus 1 over 6. So negative 3 to 36, so 3 goes to 36 12 times. So that's going to be negative 1/12 minus 1/6. And the common denominator is 12. So it's going to be negative 1 minus 2 divided by 12. So negative 3 over 12, which is negative 1/4. So the vertex is, for this parabola, is negative 1/6, positive 1/4. So this is how you find the vertex using the first formula here. So x coordinate is negative b over 2a. Once you find that x coordinate, plug it to your function and find y coordinate. So another way to find the vertex, if you are given, let's move on this example here a little bit, and graphing examples. I just need more room here to show you the other formula which called the standard form. So if your function is your function given in the standard form, so like f of x equal a x minus h square plus k. So your vertex is hk. So for example, f of x is negative 2 x minus 3 square plus 8. So what's your vertex? The vertex is hk. H in your case is 3 and k is 8. So the vertex is 3, 8. And you see here a is negative 2. So the parabola will opens down. And has a max. So will be like this and has a max. Another example, f of x equals x plus 4 square. So this doesn't look like my formula here, but I have to make it look that formula. So a is 1. So x, I should have minus in my formula. So it's gonna be minus 4 square plus 0. I don't have k, so replace it with 0. Now I have the same looking formula. So my vertex will be what? hk, and h is negative 4, not positive 4, so you have to pay attention to that double negative, and k is 0, so my vertex is negative 4, 0, and a is 1 here, so a is 1, so it's positive, so it's open up and has a mean. So if you are given the function in this nice form, it's much easier to find the vertex just using the standard form, the vertex hk. But just make make sure to pay attention to a negative h. So in your formula it must be negative h. If you have like x plus, you have to change it to double negative, minus minus, so you can see what's your h. But if you are not given the function in the standard form, you have to change it to that standard form by completing the square. And I will show you how to do that in a few minutes here. So let's do some graphing examples here. So the first example is given in the nice standard form. X square minus x minus 2 square. So we're talking about the first example here, x minus 2 square plus 3. So we start with the vertex. So the vertex, it's hk. So what's your h is 2, what's k is 3, that's right. And a is positive, so it's open up and has a minimum. So let's graph it here. And the axis of symmetry, so the axis of symmetry is what? Is x equal to. So the x equal to, the line x equal to is the symmetry, the axis of symmetry. It's like in the middle, it goes through the vertex and make the graph like a mirror image to each other. So we will show you that in the graph. So axis of symmetry, it's always x equal the x coordinate for the vertex. So let's graph this function here. This is my x axis. This is my y-axis. So the vertex is 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that's my vertex here. So I need another point. So let's find out what's the let's find out what the y-intercept. So the y-intercept make x equals 0. So if x is 0, I have 0 minus 2 square plus 3. That's give me 4 plus 3, which is 7. So y-intercept will be 0, 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's my y-intercept. And now the axis of symmetry, we said it's x equal 2. So that's my line x equal 2. And we can graph the function now, the parabola. It's like going from 0, 7 through the vertex, and it's mirror image about the axis of symmetry. So this is the graph of my function. So now let's do another example, which I have to complete the square. So I can have that equation in a nice standard form. So let's do that. So we have negative x minus 10 minus 24. So A is negative 1 and B is negative 10. So I'm interested in a B, so it's negative 10. So the trick to complete the square is adding and subtracting negative b over 2 square. So you add and subtract negative and you subtract b over 2 square. So in our case we're gonna add and subtract negative 10 over 2 square, which is adding and subtracting 5 square, which is adding and subtracting 25. So let's do that. So negative x minus 10x minus 25 plus 25. You see the trick here? So it's like I'm adding 0. Minus 24. So adding and subtracting b over 2 square. So now I can factor out the first part here. So factor out by negative 1. I get x plus 10x. I think that should be x squared, sorry. So this should be x squared, this should be x squared. So x squared plus 10x minus 25, and combine 25 and negative 24 here, I get positive 1. Now I can factor out this nicely as, so this should be plus 25, as x plus 5 square plus 1. You see, now I have a nice form, which is the vertex, my vertex is it's not positive 5, but you have to make it looks like the formula x minus 5 square plus 1. So the vertex is hk, so h in your case is negative 5 and k is 1. So that's my vertex, and a is negative. So a is negative here, so it's open down and has a max. And the maximum value, it's always y-axis. So the maximum value, it's 1. So let's graph this function here. Move this a little bit down. Last question, I think. Yes, this will be the last question, number 3. Yeah, so let's graph this function. So we have my x-axis, and the y-axis. So so the vertex is, we said it's negative 5, 1. So that's my vertex. So what's the axis of the axis of symmetry? So axis of symmetry, yes, it's always x, the line x equal -5. So let's graph it here, -5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's -5. So this is my axis of symmetry. Okay. And the vertex is -5, 1. So -5 and 1. So it's gonna be somewhere in here. -5, 1. And I just need another point. So we have negative x. So negative x plus 5 square plus 1. So if I do the y-intercept, it's gonna be 0 here plus 5, which is 25. 5 squared is 25 plus 1 will give me -24. So -24 is somewhere here in the down on the y-axis. So let's do some easy point. So if I do -4 for x, -4 for x plus 5 square plus 1. So that's gonna give me -4 plus 5 is 1. 1 square is 1. Multiply by negative, you get -1 plus 1 is 0. And the y, that's the x-intercept, and that's easy to plug. So -4, 0, it's my another point, my second point. So -4, 0, so this point here. So the graph will looks like this. So yeah, so it's not symmetry about the y-axis, about the x equal -5, so something like this. And the line x equal -5, it's in the middle of the graph. Yeah, so let's do the last example. And this example, we will find the vertex using the formula I mentioned at the beginning, which is the vertex is -b/2a, and you plug that -b/2a to your function, and that's your vertex. So what's your a in this example? So a is -2. It's negative, so it's gonna be open down and has a max. B, it's +4. So let's find out the x coordinate for the vertex. X is gonna be -b/2a, which is -4/2 times -2. So I get -4/-4, which is +1. It's a nice number here. Now let's find out the y coordinate for the vertex. So plug 1 to your function. So it's going to be f of 1, which is -2 times 1 square plus 4x, which is 4 times 1, plus 3. So we get negative 2 times 1 squared is negative 2 plus 4 plus 3 equals, so negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2, positive 2 plus 3 is 5. So my vertex is 1, 5 using that formula. You can use the standard form, but you have to complete that square, as I did in example number 2. So let's graph this function here. So my x and y. So we have 1, 5 is the vertex, 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's my vertex. And what's the axis of symmetry? So axis of symmetry is x equals 1. So x equals 1. Let's graph the vertical line, x equals 1. Yep, so that's my vertical line, x equals 1. And now we said so let's move on a little bit so we can see the function. It's negative 2x squared. So negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 3. So it's up and down. So let's find the y-intercept. So plug 0 for x. So we get 0 here plus 0 plus 3. So the y-intercept is 0, 3. So now we can graph our function. So 0, 3, it's 1, 2, 3, so this point. So something like this, and it's symmetry about x equal 5, and it's up and down as you can see, and the y and the minimum value, no, here it has a maximum, so the maximum value, it's 5. It's always the y value, and the axis of symmetry, it's always the x coordinate for the vertex. So I will pause here and continue next video. Thank you for watching.